the 16, Mock wants to throw. Fade pattern right sideline. Darius White, right side of the end zone. Touchdown, Missouri.
Tiger Talk continues here on the Tiger Network from Learfield Sports. I'm Mike Kelly. Time now for our Players segment. It's brought to you by Farmland Foods, proud supporter of Mizzou Athletics. Farmland, passion for pork since 1959. He is a defensive back, nickel back, safety from New Orleans, Louisiana. Duron Singleton, ladies and gentlemen. And a junior from Leland, Mississippi. Please welcome cornerback Kenya Dennis. Both you guys, congratulations on the win on Saturday. Let's start there. Duron, you take me through just what it was like to go down there and get a win against Texas A&M before 104,000 fans.
It was great. The stadium was awesome. A lot of fans. It was a hostile environment. We knew we had to come out on fire and ready to play. We know we had to take it one game at a time, so we had to come out prepared and ready.
How excited were you prior to the game to step into that environment and in a stadium that large?
It was very excited, especially coming from a junior college because you usually don't play in front of that many people, so it was pretty big for us.
It's Kenya Dennis, also Duron Singleton is with us. Okay, so both of you guys had the dream of playing Division I college football, but you both were in a situation where that carrot that was out there, you had to wait a couple years to get to it. What was that experience like for you, Kenya, of finally understanding, it's going to take a couple more years before I can realize my dream? Was that a difficult time in your life? Take us through that part of your life.
Yeah, it was pretty difficult at first, but as a player, you just got to keep pushing. And you don't always get it how you want it, so you just got to keep fighting for whatever you want.
Is it true, at least in your case, that the things that are worth waiting for are worth waiting for?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely worth waiting for. I think Mizzou was a good choice for me, and I really like it down here.
How about for you, Duron, having to go the junior college route? How difficult was that?
It was tough. It gave me time to develop and mature more. I think junior college really helped me understand who I was and basically just helped me become who I really am, really. It's just a great time, though. I really enjoy junior college a lot, and I'm so blessed to be here today, man. It's just great.
All right, so elaborate on something you just said. Taught me a little more about who I was. Well, explain that a little further.
I know I was a physical player always in high school. But as I got to junior college, it helped me develop more. It helped me get stronger, faster, and just made me want to hit more and be physical.
For both of you guys, when you were going through the recruiting process again as a junior college player, what were some of the things that were important to you from a program that you were going to eventually sign for? What were you looking for from that program?
During my second recruiting process, I knew I was going to go somewhere and eventually graduate, so I immediately looked at the graduation rate for Missouri, and it was pretty high. So, my family thought that was appealing, so that's why Mizzou was also a good choice for me. Yeah,
so good from a graduation standpoint. What about on the field? What were you looking for on the field?
I was looking for great teammates, great coaching, and, of course, immediate playing time.
How about for you?
Same here. The coaching staff is great here. I loved all the coaching staff when I met them. The players was also great. I always was a fan of Mizzou, even when J-Mac was playing here. But yeah, it's definitely the place to be.
So, Duron Singleton, when you arrived on your recruiting visit, and then finally that weekend finally came, and you knew a little bit about Missouri, but this was your first time not only to the school but in the state. Take us through that weekend and what it was like, if you will.
That weekend was great. My host was LaDamian Washington, so I bonded with him great. He was an awesome guy. One of the reasons why I came here also, he's awesome. But the city was not too big, not too small, which was great for me. It's not much to do, so you can't get in trouble. So, that was one of the reasons why I also liked it, and my mom liked it. So I felt like it was a great place for me.
And then during your recruiting weekend, just this past year, what were some of the things that made you comfortable here?
Yeah, it was like a brother atmosphere. My host was Marcus Golden, and he was a JUCO guy also. So he was telling me a few things and what made him come, and it just made me feel like I was at home.
Being from Mississippi, how familiar were you with Missouri?
I really wasn't familiar with it at all. I just knew it was real cold down here.
And you're probably disappointed right now, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm here now, and I'm kind of getting used to it, so it's working out pretty good.
The coaching staff's philosophy, obviously the best players are going to play, but when they bring in a junior college player, it's always with the thought that they're going to bring in a starter. Did they talk about that during the process with you?
It wasn't necessarily being a starter, but I knew that I would have a chance to play and have immediate playing time.
That's Kenya Dennis, Duron Singleton. How about for you?
Same here. I know I was going to have a chance an opportunity to play right away. I know I had to battle for a position, so, I mean, it was the same thing, though.
What was life like for you, Duron, growing up in New Orleans?
It was great. I mean, New Orleans is a beautiful city. It's also a tough place to grow up. I mean, it's a lot of crime and different things like that, but overall, I mean, I love New Orleans.
The discipline that you find here within this program, how much does that help a young man like you?
It helps a lot. I mean, it shapes who you are. I mean, it helps you be grounded and know what to do and what not to do. So, I mean, it definitely helps out a lot.
Kenya, for you, Leland, Mississippi. Not many people may be familiar enough with Mississippi to know where Leland is. Tell people where it is.
It's a few, like 9 hours down south. It's a real nice place, and it's a real small place. And it's not much down there, but we usually produce pretty good football players and stuff.
For both of you making the adjustment, coming from, again, the junior college ranks and stepping into the SEC, how long did it take you to get comfortable?
It took me a while, but I knew if I kept working and doing what the coaches told me to do, that it'll eventually come around.
And for you, Duron, you were a guy that a year ago you started getting more and more playing time, and then you got hurt at the end of the year. That, again, was one of those difficult periods, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, as soon as I started getting comfortable and accepting the role that Coach gave me, I got injured, and, I mean, it definitely made me realize and appreciate what I had more. It just was a tough time for me at that point, but, I mean, I definitely just kept working and just know I had to get back and help my team any way I can.
How much did it serve as motivation moving into spring ball and then, of course, into the summer months?
It helped out a lot. For spring ball, I was definitely motivated to win a starting job and basically help my team any way I can. Like Coach said, I mean, the best going to play, so I had to be one of the top.
And for you, now you're seeing playing time. You've moved in after a few games. Now you're into the starting role. How much has that changed things? Has it made you more comfortable, the fact that they rely on you enough to make you a starter?
Yeah, I've been definitely more comfortable. Like, the more reps you get, I think the more comfortable you get. And as I've been playing more, I've been feeling more comfortable.
Duron, growing up in New Orleans, you had to go through something, your community had to go through something that people just never think they're going to have to face. And that, of course, is Hurricane Katrina. None of us in this room can have just a small glimpse of an idea of what that time period was like for the folks that are from your city. So take us through it. What was it like going through Hurricane Katrina?
It was definitely a tough time, not knowing if you was going to have a place to come back to. A lot of my friends have died. I lost a lot of friends. They lost a lot of things, lost their house. Had to relocate to different areas and different things like that. So it was a tough time for me, for sure.
It not only literally did it tear apart a city, but it tore apart neighborhoods and families and things like that. How does one maintain your strength through that?
With faith. I mean, I'm a big believer in God, and I mean, I feel like with God you can go through anything. I mean, He's only going to give his toughest tasks to his strongest soldiers. So I felt like we just got to just roll with the punches and just take it as they come.
Duron Singleton and also Kenya Dennis with us tonight here on Tiger Talk. I'm Mike Kelly. For you, Kenya, off the field, when you get a chance to step away from football, what are some of the things you like to do?
I like to get together with the team and play video games and stuff like that, or work out and work on parts of my game that I don't usually have time to work on, and just hang out
Such as, what would be some of those things you can do on your own?
Just I like, well, for video games, I like to play Madden or NCAA or something like that.
You guys are a lot alike. You know, you got the junior college thing. You're both from the South. Do you guys ever do the video game thing together too, or?
We haven't yet, but I'm definitely sure we will soon. I mean,
Wait. Was that a challenge, I think?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Coach always tell us we have to compete, so
I'll take it.
He takes it. How about for you, away from the field?
I just love hanging out with my teammates. I mean, with a strong bond, I mean, it brings us closer together. It brings the team chemistry. I just love being around them. They're a great group of guys.
From an academic standpoint, what are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in sports management.
And when will you graduate?
May.
Graduate in May. That's awesome. How about for you? What are you going to major in?
I'm also majoring in sports management.
And of course, this is your first year here at Mizzou, so again, from an academic standpoint and the amount of support that the student athletes you guys get, just talk about the adjustment in the classroom, what that has been like for you.
It's been a real big adjustment. Obviously, you have more help, so it don't put as much stress on you as you usually have. And I think they have a really good academic program, and they give you a real good chance to graduate and get where you need to be on the academic level.
How do you guys view the play of your defense so far? I mean, you've been very consistent, as Coach Pinkel said, particularly through the last 7 games. Have you played your best game, though, on the defensive side?
Absolutely not. I think we haven't even got close to our best game. I mean, Coach always stressed to us that we have to run to the ball, be physical, and be 6-second competitors. We live for just trying to get turnovers and basically just give our offense back the ball.
What game was it where you had the scoop and score?
Toledo? Was it? Nah, you have.
No, it was at home. Yeah, it was.
UCF.
Central Florida. Yeah, I couldn't remember. You've had an interception too?
No, sir.
No, you haven't yet? Okay. My bad. I thought you had one. So you're still looking for that.
Yes, sir.
For you, Kenya Dennis is, from a defensive standpoint, obviously I think you probably look at your game this past weekend and say there are different things that you could have been better in against Texas A&M. So how do you try to apply that motivation towards this week individually getting ready to take on Tennessee?
It all starts in practice. I think I just got to go into practice and focus on things that I didn't do so well in the A&M game and try to correct them.
What's the difference in terms of practicing at the junior college level to practicing here?
I think it's the way that they organize things. Practice here are much more organized, and we get things done more here.
How about for you? Have you found that to be the same thing?
Absolutely. I think the speed is the main thing. We never stop. It's always running here, run there, get in this drill, get in that drill, let's go, hustle. It's just constantly moving.
And that's something that young players have a hard time adjusting to at times, right?
Absolutely. I mean, my first year was tough. Coming from a junior college, I mean, we definitely had drills and different things, but it was never this much tempo and just constantly just moving.
When you have a game like you had against Texas A&M and you go down and pick up a win in that environment, what does that do in terms of the motivation for your team moving forward starting this weekend?
I think this is going to give us more motivation. I mean, we know we're a real good team, and I know a lot of people expected us to lose that game, so we know who we really are. We're just going to keep working hard in practice.
Once football's through, what would you like to do? Any thoughts in your life what you'd like to do once that football's taken away from you?
I like to go into coaching and be a coach and try to help some younger guys fulfill their dreams also.
How about for you?
Same here. I mean, I want to stay around the game. I love the game. It's a part of me. It's always been a part of me, so I love to coach and help young guys out also.
Duron Singleton, tell us something that you've learned about Kenya Dennis that we don't know.
Well, y'all might know him as a tough guy on the field, very big and strong, but he's really a sweetheart at heart, for real. Nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Kenya Dennis, what have you learned about Duron Singleton that we don't know?
Well, Duron is a very spiritual guy, and I think he's really close with God, but it may not seem like it because he's always hitting people, and it may seem like he hates people at sometimes, but He really loves people, and he's real close to God.
That's great. Guys, thank you for your time tonight. Good luck this weekend. Duron Singleton and Kenya Dennis. Tiger Talk continues after this on the Tiger Network from Bluefield Sports.
Hansbrough offset left, running the right side on his own. Reed, and he may go. Hansbrough to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the house.
Tiger Talk continues here on the Tiger Network from Learfield Sports. This year, the attorneys of Lathrop and Gage proud to recognize the Three Stripes Club. And its efforts to recognize truly outstanding student athletes. Tonight, we recognize Ryan Rosberg with Mizzou basketball. The Three Stripes Club honors student athletes who constantly do the right thing when no one is looking, going above and beyond socially, academically, and athletically. The attorneys of Lathrop and Gage, serving Missouri business since 1873. MPix.com, proud to bring you the Mizzou Fan Photo Contest. Email your favorite Mizzou fan photos to mpix@mutigers.com. A chance to win 2015 season tickets. More Tiger Talk with Gary Pinkel after this on the Tiger Network from Learfield Sports.
Two receivers bunched to each side of the field on 3rd and 1. Hansbrough running left with McGovern in front to the left sideline to the 40. Steps inside to the 35. On his feet, 30. He's going to go. 20, 10, house. Missouri's got the lead with 5:40 to play in the 3rd.
Tiger Talk continues here on the Tiger Network from Learfield Sports. We'd like to thank Farmland Foods for their continued support of Mizzou Athletics. Farmland Foods, passion for pork since 1959. Hey, November the 28th, Black Friday at Memorial Stadium, it begins the Battle Line rivalry presented by Shelter Insurance, Missouri and Arkansas. The line's been drawn. Get ready to roar. Coach Gary Pinkel is with us here as we wrap things up this week on Tiger Talk. Our thanks to Kenya Dennis and also to Duron Singleton. You talk to those guys, and you guys as a staff, though, you talk about when you're going to bring in a junior college player, you want to have that player good enough that he can start. With both of those guys, what do you remember about the recruiting process with them?
Well, I think our philosophy is always if we bring a junior college player in, we don't bring him in as a backup. We bring him in thinking he can start in our evaluation system. But we tell them, and you ask both of them, what'd you come here and they neither one of them said we told. And a lot of coaches will do that to get recruits. Say, well, you can go in and start. And we never tell a player he can come in and start at Mizzou because I'm giving one of my players' job away when I tell somebody else that he's coming in. What we did, and both of them said that, is we'll give you an opportunity to start. And everybody gets an opportunity. I think players really respect our program because it's all based on competition. Doesn't matter how long you've been here. Doesn't matter that you're a senior or junior. And I've put my years in here, so I deserve to start. You deserve to start if you win the job, and you win the job on the football field. And we do that collectively across the entire board. But both those guys, just really good athletes. We thought they could come in and immediately help us. And them understanding that it's all about competition, and they're competitors, and they're real great competitors, whether recruiting in high school or junior college. They don't mind that they have to compete, And the other thing is I don't have a problem for any of my jobs away. So when you're playing for me, I'm not going to be out recruiting, promising your job away, which a lot of people do. We just don't. I don't believe in that.
But the other thing you say in the recruiting process, and you let it be known, is that the best players will play. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where the best players play.
Yeah.
That, I would think, captures the attention of young people too.
It does, although some people will sit there and promise recruits that they're going to play. You can start. You can come in and start. And, we just don't ever do that. We'll never do that.
When you look at your overall roster and you're going into the recruiting process, what is it you look at by position that says we may want to bring in a junior college player here or there?
Well, just depending on attrition. A lot of things happen. You might have had some players, like last year we lost several receivers, scholarship receivers. We didn't think we were going to lose, but all of a sudden you got a gap there. So you kind of look for any gaps that you might have in your personnel. We try to plan 3 years out, so how many seniors you have a position, juniors, sophomores, freshmen, and that's pretty much the sequence that you do. And Nick Otterbacher does a great job with that, and he's our and that's something that's certainly you have to look at, or you might look at a place because of that kind of a turnover that you're going to have to just it'd be better if we could get a junior college player to help us because he can immediately come in and help us.
Well, that's Gary Pinkel. I'm Mike Kelly. This is Tiger Talk. A couple more minutes left with the coach before we say goodbye tonight. His team heading on the road this weekend. Tigers have won 9 consecutive games away from home as they head to Tennessee this weekend to take on the Volunteers. You were asked about that this morning, or this afternoon, I should say, about what it takes to win away from home and the reason why your program has been successful winning road games. And your answer was basically came down to one word: focus.
Focus, yeah. To be able to, and again, we don't have the answers to all that. It's just the bottom line is, I don't care if it's played here or it's played in a parking lot or it's played, I don't care where it is. It's all about your ability as an athlete, regardless of where you're at, to be able to focus and give your best performance on that play. And when that play's over, where it's the best play you ever made or the worst play you ever made, or no matter what happens in that whole stadium, okay, and it's national TV and everything else, you can get back to give your next play again. And that's ultimately what it's all about. That's what we do. All we work about. That's why discipline's important. That's why attention to detail is important, and that's something that we work real hard at. And ultimately, that's what you got to do. And you know what? It's hard to do. It's really hard to do. And that's why it's such a challenge for us. But we certainly try to train our athletes to think that way. And bottom line, it's about how we play, and then this is what we believe. Okay, there's a lot of variables out there, but bottom line, can we play at a high level every play? And that's our challenge.
A chance this weekend to go again to one of those classic historic venues in Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Awesome. Yeah, it's the great respect for their fans, and just as we did in A&M. A great respect for this. It's a great stadium to play in. It's just fun to compete in stadiums. I tell our guys, you're going to be talking about these things the rest of your life, and so again, we go in that, and people say, what's it like playing on ESPN, on national TV, and all that stuff. That's all that stuff's fine, but if you're thinking about looking in the stands and all that stuff, you're not getting back where your focus where you need to be, and that's what we try to train our athletes to learn how to think and compete, and that's ultimately the toughest thing, and hopefully we get that done.
What was it like afterwards to go into that sea of black and gold in that end zone? They were about the only ones that were still there celebrating the win on Saturday night. You had a lot of fans.
Yeah, we had a lot of fans there. It was awesome, and it was just great. And our players afterwards just went up to them, and they were saying the fight song there in front of them and everything, and that's what we kind of do traditionally. Just very appreciative of that. You got to travel. There's a commitment to our administration. To give us resources. There's a commitment that we have to have as players and coaches to do our best and compete in this great league. But there's also a commitment from our fans. They're an SEC fan is different than other fans around the country, and that's filling your stadiums up. Like filling our stadium up, not having 58,000, or 65,000, having 72,000 every single game. It's like traveling to every game. Mm-hmm. That's what SEC fans are like, and that's where we got to get to. And we're doing a lot of great things, and we've made a lot of great progress, and we still want to continue to make a lot of progress.
Final minute of the show. What about Tennessee? Talk about their ball club.
Quarterback, really good player. Came in being a third quarterback, and they got an injury. Their backup didn't do well, and so this a player that they thought that was going to be able to come in and not really play. Thought he might, Dobbs is his name, thought he might redshirt, ends up playing, and he's played, came in the Alabama game, did excellent in the Alabama game, has played 4 straight games at a very high level. Amazing how that turns out. You see some guys that do that sometimes. Good running backs, big, strong athlete. Receivers are really good. Defensive line is very physical. They run well. They're playing really well now. They're playing their best football right now. So, again, a great challenge for us, but what's going to boil down to is how we play.
Let's go get it done. Thank you.
Thank you all being here. Appreciate
Tigers head coach Gary Pinkel. I'm Mike Kelly. That's going to do it for Tiger Talk. Missouri in action coming up Saturday evening from Knoxville.